So, welcome everybody and welcome Sophie.
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me on.
It's a pleasure. It's a long time since we've seen you.
Yeah,
A whole couple of days.
let me do my board.
Okay, we'll do the board.
Is that in frame?
Yeah. So, welcome to At Home with the Fishers, starring Nicola and Chris Fisher RPT with Make It Soph.
Hey!
Hi guys.
And this is episode 26.
Can I put my board down?
You can put your board down now. So let's just say hello to everybody on the chat and anybody who's not in the chat. We've got T+G Making.
Hi guys.
Ages since we saw them.
Yes. Repeat offenders.
Wayne the Woodturner.
Hi, Wayne.
JP Woodwork.
Hey up.
I think Leona's on.
Hi Leona. Congratulations with the YouTube as well.
Yes. Congratulations, Leona. That's great.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Anna B Workshop. So yeah, I think that's everybody. So great to have you along. Thank you for joining us, and we're thrilled to have Sophie with us as well.
Yeah,
isn't it, to go back to lives with a guest?
It is really nice. Well, this is 2 weeks on the bounce now.
It is. Yeah, so we're doing well.
It's great. It really is great. And for those of you that don't know Sophie, where have you been?
Yeah, exactly.
Half the world's children, are lining up to make stuff with Sophie.
Well, I'll tell you about the kids. There were those two little boys at Cardiff on
yeah, Dylan and Hayden.
They'd seen you there, and then you turned round to say hello to them, and they were literally jumping up and down. It was just so lovely to see. They were like, "Oh, Sophie!"
Yeah, they're lovely. They're going to come to the Halloween, I think, Axminster event. So it'd be nice to actually make something with them. But yeah,
that was really nice.
It's very weird to kind of get that response of kids, though. It's really surreal. Lovely, but it's still kind of.
I don't want to give too much away, but for people that don't know Sophie, I'm sure you'll be avid followers of her after this podcast. But what she does with and for the kids is amazing. So I won't go any deeper into that. I'll let Sophie tell her, because it is her life, it's her story, it's her journey. But we've had the pleasure of knowing Sophie for quite a while now, and she always brings a little bit of sunshine, doesn't she, into the room.
Oh, and we've had Sophie here as well.
We've had Sophie here. Yeah.
That was a brilliant weekend.
Yeah, we did have a good time, and
it was great.
Lots of tea and bacon rolls. It was lovely.
And cakes, and we went out for a meal together.
And wood turning.
That was a small amount. More cakes.
But we've known Sophie for quite a while now. Yeah, and we've actually sort of like we've sort of like texted and phoned each other, haven't we, from time to time?
Yeah, we have.
Our mind and stuff. So we do keep in touch. But Sophie's massively busy, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Sophie, the first question.
Yes, I'm ready.
I would love the answer to this one. Why do you make?
I think now I make because it's second nature. It's like just as I was get up and like make myself breakfast, I just find myself always kind of wanting to be potching with something, or making, or drawing, or even if it's just getting the camera out or doodling on a petrol receipt in the car. I've just always find myself just doing something, and I think I've always been like that. I think my mum says like one of her earliest memories of me was just sitting for hours and hours in the high chair when I was only like about 3, like just with a crayon and just like A4 pieces of paper. But I'd sit there for hours and just, well, not make a mess, but just like I was happy enough just to kind of make and create, and from that sort of age. And I like learning. I think I like to learn something new, and I think if you're in the making sort of community and making is what you like to do, you never run out of kind of tools you could try, or different sort of making, or like even new materials you can try, methods, anything like that. There's always something new you can kind of venture into, sort of thing.
Yeah,
that's very interesting. And tell, because obviously I know this, but You are a sort of like a formally academically trained maker as well, aren't you? In a way, because
in a sort of way. I went to the University of South Wales to study model making in stop motion animation, and I did that for 3 years, and then I left and kind of did a feature film, which is my first sort of film credit, and the story kind of goes on from that. But it was like a Welsh firm, and it was their first film, and they like pushing forward, they kind of needed to keep on the people who had 20-30 years experience, and it was only my first job. So I was kind of last one in, first one out sort of thing, and that kind of, it was a bit of a blow, and kind of I was quite depressed, and I was like, oh, I've been studying this for nearly 5 years. What do I do now if I can't have a career in this, and I've been dropped sort of thing? And like that's when my friend said, oh, why don't you start putting your making on YouTube and kind of just put it out there, so you're just not making for yourself, you're actually feeling like people are seeing this, people are like kind of seeing what you're making and kind of pushing it forward that way. And obviously the rest is history. But that started a chain of events. But I firmly believe in everything happens for a reason. So if that had never happened, then I would never have the mini makers, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel, I wouldn't have met any of you guys, anything like that. So it definitely, that kind of blow and kind of little bubble of thing that I just didn't want to make, and kind of after losing that job, then it kind of started a chain of events that I wouldn't change for the world.
It seems to me that you're kind of doing the things that you were meant to do, really.
Yeah.
It seems so well suited to what you're doing, and how you're doing stuff with the kids and how much they all get out of it.
Yeah, and like that's what I was talking a bit about yesterday. It was because of YouTube that the mini makers started. It was only because I was making sort of miniature dioramas then, so kind of staying within the stop motion model making route, but just kind of making the models to put on YouTube. So just kind of doing simple tutorials of those, putting them onto YouTube, and then finding that there was kids watching them, and like the makers community were like showing their kids, and handing the iPad that they might not be technically interested in what I'm doing, but their kids would be. And I had a few like comments and posts, and my kids have copied you from your videos doing this, and that was just, it was unbelievable to kind of get that reaction. It was so surreal, but just lovely. And it's kind of an incentive then that you want to keep doing that. It's addictive, and you want to keep spreading the word. And if these kids all over the world, I think the first mini maker was in Canada, so just to kind of keep doing that and keep growing that way.
Yeah. So is that what you want to do? You want to sort of grow the mini maker part of what you're doing?
Yeah, because at the moment I'm kind of like painting commissions and doing like the pop vinyl toys and selling those as a custom cut to kind of cover my bills. But then I would really love to kind of push mini makers, and still, like, even with the paintings and the Funko Pops, it crosses over. Like the kids would be interested in doing those as well. So anything that I can do to like encourage and inspire the mini makers. But I'd love to go around schools, and eventually in the next few years I'd like to have sort of a creator studio where the kids come to me, or I can go to them on a regular basis, and kind of grow that way, as well as online. So I'm sharing all the maker communities kids and resharing their work, but I'm actually working with the kids as well in the weeks.
So have you been doing quite a bit at the Cardiff store with?
Yeah.
Did you do some stuff over the summer?
Yeah, 2 events in Cardiff store and then one in Basingstoke, and they went brilliantly. They did go really well, because Axminster have got like the Beat the Boredom workshops.
Yeah.
So they're kind of moving into that sort of thing to encourage the kids as well, because really, and I think Lee is brilliant, like the store manager at Cardiff, and he's so keen on getting the kids involved, because really they're future customers. You want to be inspiring these kids to to make stuff. So then they're away from the tablets, they're away from their PlayStations. They want to make things every day, and
in a way, they're not. They are future customers. They'll be future customers in their own right.
Yeah.
But now, the customers by proxy, and their mum and dads are buying them stuffs from
Exactly.
you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, they'll be being bought their first, you know, box of screws and glue guns and first set of screwdrivers, you know, to make stuff that you've sort of like inspired in them. So I think, future customers, but I think really already customers, just
exactly,
that gets it for them.
And also you get the kids wanting stuff, and the parents aren't really into things. Well, you get the parents in a store buying the kids stuff, and they end up buying stuff as well. So it's kind of it's a win-win, isn't it?
Yeah, it works both ways, and it definitely happened in the robot workshop I did in Cardiff store. It was just like putting scrap bits of wood together, and the feedback I had for the robots were absolutely insane, because they were like people like saying what a brilliant this idea is, because most people were like, I'd throw this away, but like my kids would love making robots out of this. They'd love it because it's just, you know, a few nuts and bolts and pipe cleaners and googly eyes, and you've got a character that the kids can play with straight away. And even now, like I had about, I think Lee came back and said, "Oh, we've had a few glue gun sales today," and I was like, "Oh well, that's my job done." Ready the glue gun vibe everywhere.
They'll have you back, you see.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's cool. So we've talked a bit about the maker community, and I suspect that you've had a lot from the maker community.
Yeah.
What has the maker community given you?
A lot. I think the full stop. But no, I think a second family, I think, is the best way to describe it, because like whereas before I was kind of making for myself, now I find if I make anything, I've got like an audience for my stuff, because my projects are a bit weird and wacky. Even if I just put a video out, I know there'll be someone in the maker community that will like it, because this is something that they do, as well as inspiration, as well as, you know, tools, materials. You know, people have been so nice in terms of mini makers, just to kind of say, you know, we'll give you this, you know, we'll give you that for like paper and vinyl and all sorts of things, just so the kids can use them, because at the end of the day, people throw out half the stuff that I can use for the kids, and like scrap wood. And there was a company that my friend John worked for in Bridgend, that they were clearing out all this old vinyl that was no use. It was just going to go in the rubbish or to be burnt or stuff. And, you know, I took it to the Axminster store, and they were making capes for their Lego figures out of the stuff. So it's like it wouldn't have happened if, you know, you didn't offer it. So it's unbelievable. But yeah, and yourselves, like the wood turning weekend, like just what you've done for me there, it is the basic skills that I could forward on to the kids. You know, even if it's just spindle turning, I make those snowmen and I just make the rough shape, I can give those to the kids, and then they paint them and they, you know, do what they like. So it's just it's everything. It's skills, inspiration, it's materials. Yeah, I can't speak highly enough of the whole community, because they've been so good to me.
Yeah. Well, we say it every time. It's such a special community. And, you know, the people that we know, and some of them, you know, we don't see that often, but when you see them, they're just like old friends. And it's, I mean, I just repeat myself every time, but it's unlike anything I've ever come across.
Yeah, definitely. It is like a family. It's just, it doesn't really matter how much time is in between, because it was like Maker Central and then the other Maker Central. It was like that whole gap between those two shows. But when you were there, it felt like you'd known the people for ages, because you kind of keep up with their stories and kind of keep up with their Instagram and YouTube videos and how they're doing, and you see them a lot. And it's even a bit awkward when like you see someone, they don't really know you, and you're like, oh, but I watch your videos all the time. Like, you don't really know me. But I'm just kind of introducing myself to you here.
yeah, you get people just sort of like tapping you on the shoulder and, hiya, Sophie, and oh yeah, I know all about you, and it's sort of like it's great, and you get this real great buzz, and
Yeah.
you get this, sense of, overwhelming happiness, don't you, when someone comes and says, oh wow, yeah, I've been watching you for ages, and oh, it's so great. And I remember now, when I was demonstrating at Makers this year, you were camped out pretty much opposite me.
Yeah.
The tables were all set up, and it was. I remember I went and had a feel, a bit during, in between demos, and then after the event, and it was just controlled chaos.
Yeah, it is.
It did make me chuckle, and I thought, these kids, because when I was doing my demos, I was concentrating a lot, and I couldn't see what was going on, but I had my little smile and chuckle to myself, thinking, this just reeks of huge fun.
Yeah.
Pile of controlled chaos here, and it's just, it is amazing. It is amazing. And, us having kids and, being parents and things like that, it is at the forefront of your mind all the time, the happiness of your children and the well-being. And you do that in spades, it's just like fun factor to the nth degree. Kids love doing it, don't they? Messing about, glue, sticky stuff, wood, metal, whatever, fabric, and you're giving the kids exactly what they want.
Yeah, it's because even if it's not in so much in schools anymore, but like even in those events alone, like there's like the demonstrations going on, there's people selling stuff. So even if those few corners that the kids can come over, just kind of let loose for a couple of minutes, and then they kind of just getting that energy and their imagination out. And that's what I love being next to be honest, is their imagination. Because even like I said, those robots I did, and it was just a head, a body, and then 4 like pieces of dowel for the legs and arms. And this one little girl, Erin, she kind of listened to what I was kind of saying and was nodding and agreeing. And then she said, I've listened to everything you've got to say, but I'm going to make a tortoise. I was like, it's fair enough. That's, I'm only here to give you the stuff. It's like, if you want to make a tortoise, then you go for it. Tortoise robot.
Brilliant.
That's classic. I love that.
What was your tortoise called?
Humphrey. Yeah. He was real though.
Yeah. This wasn't real. This had so many different legs. I think, tortoises are only meant to have 4. This one had 6, 7.
It was a mutant tortoise.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah. So, what sort of things do you love to make?
Wow. I think anytime I'm in the shed, it kind of differs. But at the moment, I think it varies between paintings, wood turning, and like my junk builds, because I'm kind of going in between those because people are asking for the paintings, but I want to kind of paint what I want to paint as well. So if I do get time and I have the choice to kind of make what I want to make, I'd say it would be a painting, like a landscape painting, because I kind of stopped painting for a while for whatever reason and told I wasn't very good. So I kind of, it sets you back a bit. Then I wanted to paint. I wanted to keep going and kind of improve. Like I've never been taught like properly how to paint, because I kind of moved into the animation model making side. I wasn't really in the fine art then of how to color and like palettes and how to kind of stretch canvases and all that. So if I do get time, I'd say the paintings, but it kind of puts me in like a sort of headspace that is just so therapeutic because there's no pressure, there's no sort of guidelines. It doesn't really matter if it's wrong because I can paint over it. It's just nice to kind of know that I can do what I want on a canvas.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I do love wood turning because I still very much class myself as a newbie and a novice, but like that's kind of learning. So I know that like I love to learn. So wood turning is definitely my learning subject. Is whenever I can get the chance, I like to like turn a bowl and see them fly off the lathe now and again.
just whizzing back. Sorry to interrupt, but just whizzing back to the art and painting thing.
Yeah.
what artists really inspire you, you know, whether or not they're classical or postmodern or whatever, you know, what artists do you really love? And you look at their paintings and you go, wow, that so does it for me. Any
It would be Turner.
right.
And he does like the shipwrecks and like the sunsets. I'd say he's my favorite. And then shortly after we Da Vinci, just for the fact that how he captures the form, the human form, because I would say I'm not really great at faces and portraiture, so I admire Da Vinci's work like unbelievably. He's one of my idols.
Mm.
But yeah, it's practice. I'll say that to anyone, like, you know, talent is a pursued interest. If you want to work at it and you want to, you know, learn something that much, you will put the time in and you will get better at it. Like your first painting compared to your 50th, you know, you will get better. So hopefully I'll venture into portraiture eventually.
Yeah, did you catch the dramatisation with Timothy Spall
No.
Turner?
Yeah, that was good.
Oh yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
that was really good. Really enjoyed listening to that. Well, there you go. Future, what's that? Master. There you go.
Yeah.
A future master. So yeah, same as anything. So if you've got to practice and you know you don't get anything unless you put the hours in. Same as, you know, an academic university course, learning to drive, painting, wood turning. You know, anybody can do it. It's just not handed to you, is it?
Well, going back to the bit about whoever told you couldn't paint, they obviously needed to go to Specsavers.
Yeah. It was me.
Well, Andy, AH Bespoke, has said that Turner and Van Gogh neither studied art at uni.
Yeah, no, Van Gogh is another one. Like
yeah.
But that's the thing.
I know lots of people, not necessarily creatives, but people who are doing stuff, and some of them who I know who are doing really well, you know, like big online A-list bloggers and stuff.
Yeah.
They've never had any training or they've no qualifications, and you don't have to do it. You've got natural skill and natural talent, and
thank you.
It's just developing it over time.
Yeah, and I'm sure the person that was mean to Sophie and said that, because I remember the time that happened, and Nicola, you'd just done a painting.
Oh yeah.
And Nicola described it to me, and we listened to the video.
Yeah.
And Nicola said, "Christ, I wish I could paint that badly."
Well,
yeah.
And it's like,
I mean, I really cannot paint.
Yeah, well, Nicola loves art and paintings.
Yeah.
We've got quite a few hung in the house.
Yeah.
And Nicola said, "Gee, yeah, I wish I could paint that badly." And you know, whoever said it, you know, screw you, Jack, because you know they're saying, you know, same old story. They probably never drawn or painted anything in their life or made anything. They've just looked at what you're doing and probably tried to compare it to, you know, some, I don't know, some world-class master. But shame on them.
I think as well as that, I think it's getting used to sort of, you will always have people on the internet and on YouTube that will just say something nasty. You can't get rid of them. They will be everywhere. So I think it's just kind of like learning and kind of, I was relatively new, like it was only my first painting I put out, and then to have that kind of comment, I was like, oh well, what's the point of me doing it then if I'm going to get those kind of comments? But then it's realizing that there was 50 lovely comments and supportive comments for that one. And I think that's just our mindsets, the kind of the nasty comments take on a bit more than the positive ones now and again.
Yeah, and I think what, you know, you're entitled to feel how you feel, and you get a lot of friends and things getting in touch. And when you've had a bad moment or you've been trolled, people say, "Oh, don't let it bother you. It'll be all right. Don't worry about them." But you do. You've got no chance of just letting it wash on by. You know, when I've had a couple of moments and things, and people said, "Oh, it's all right. Don't let it worry you," but it does.
Yeah, it does.
And there's a famous quote by Eisenhower, and sort of like the essence of what Eisenhower said, and it was to do with the D-Day landings, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Eisenhower said, "Critics do not count."
Yeah, it's
You
true.
know,
It's very true.
and it was Guy Martin when he was still racing at the Isle of Man TT. You know, he'd been on the podium, but he'd never actually won a race. And he gets all these people saying, "Oh, Guy, you know, when are you ever going to win?" And oh, you know, you were like this there on that corner, and you had a bit of a wobble. And Guy Martin had got sort of like a bit peeved by it, and
Yeah.
he said, do you think I don't know that I should be winning and going faster there? But you want to try doing it, sat on that motorbike going down a country lane at 200 miles an hour. He says, I know damn well I should be doing better, but, you know, it'll happen when it happens. And then he pulled out this quote, Guy Martin of Eisenhower.
It is not the critic who counts.
Mm.
I won't read it all because it goes on, but the credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood.
Mm.
Yeah. Exactly. And I agree
with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. So
Yeah.
it's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have a look at that. But I think, yeah, we're all different. Like we've all had different pasts, different experiences, different sort of levels of pushbacks and like knockbacks, and you know, even if it's jobs or just life stuff. So you know, leave a person to do what they want to and kind of bounce back when they need to. And I think that's, as long as they do bounce back eventually, that's the most important thing.
People learn and do things at their own pace.
Yeah.
You know, people learn at different rates, and like you've just said, let people get on with it the way they know how, and they'll get there. What they need is support. They don't need knocking down every time. You know, they've
definitely
stuck something on backwards. Speaking from experience.
So, tell us something that the maker community doesn't know about you.
Well, going on from that, I nearly failed A-level art. Like I barely scraped a pass. So, but that's talking into the sort of level that what I was making and what I was creating didn't fit within what the school boards and the school guidelines and the results wanted me to make. So, yeah, that's basically it. But I don't think I've actually ever said that. But I remember doing really well at GCSE. I took it for A-level. I didn't take like design technology or any sort of making. It was just art, and it was very much like fine art. So if you couldn't paint the apples that were in front of you on the bowl, then you had no chance. You were going to fail. And I struggled with still life. Like I didn't really practice enough, and I was more the making side of art than I wanted to do the landscapes and sort of stuff from my memory and stuff that I wanted to do. You know, just kind of the 3D sort of stuff and like the concept art as well, and like the animation, the movement, stop motion, model making, and bring that into sort of my art. But yeah, the teachers were having none of it, and they nearly failed me. I think I was 3 marks off a fail. So there you go.
But
school doesn't mean nothing.
To show it's very a niche thing, isn't it? And what you're doing and what a lot of the makers are doing is so far removed from that kind of academic art. And you know, if you look at what's he called, the wacky guy who makes all those machines,
Colin Furze.
Yeah, people like Colin Furze. I mean, they're just doing all these wacky things, aren't they? And
yeah, they're doing what they want to do, and like if an idea pops in their head, they'll just do it. And that's kind of the mindset that I love. I don't really want to be restricted by the guidelines and that you have to do some sort of political art piece for this one, and it just all gets a bit strange and abstract art and all stuff like that I don't quite understand. And I think everyone's, you know, art is subjective. Whatever sort of, everyone's different, you know, whatever art you like, it wouldn't be the same to the person sitting next to you. So I think, you know, schools, it's kind of hard for schools because they have to kind of group everyone together so they can mark them. They can't have 30 students going off on 30 different tangents because it'll be harder for them to do. So yeah, but I'm glad I didn't really take it as a knockback, because I still didn't really know when I left school kind of what sort of area of like art I wanted to go in. So I did like the foundation course, which is kind of like a college course that let you have a taster of all the subjects. So it was illustration, fine art, fashion, 3D, all of them, even photography. So they kind of put everything on like on a weekly basis. You could have tasters, and then you kind of pick the two that you got on with the most and you pursued those. And that led me into the stop motion side of it, because I preferred doing that, and like stop motion is kind of a niche sort of art in itself, and I kind of liked that it was his own sort of beauty towards that, because it's on his own, the animation side of it, like Wallace and Gromit and like I love that sort of
Aardman style.
Yeah.
Are you aware of that? It's sort of like a mixture of live action and a bit of sort of like animations. It's called Angry Kid.
Yes. Yeah. I know Angry Kid.
When I listen to that, I think, talking about being off piste, flipping it, hilarious.
His voice.
It is insane. I'll let you listen to an episode later. That's an Aardman production, isn't it?
Yeah, spin-off. It's very different to Wallace and Gromit, mind.
Yeah, it's horrendously obnoxious, offensive teenager. Now, me and Charlie used to listen to it, and Charlie described what was going on and what the kid looked like. But I think it's hilarious. Did you like it, Sophie?
Yeah, I did. It was kind of, I wasn't really expecting it, because you kind of think, right, Aardman, Wallace and Gromit, Shaun the Sheep. It's very going to be timid. It's going to be very like, above board, PG, fine. Angry Kid comes on and it's just mental.
Yeah, it's very risque.
Yeah.
But lots of fun. I love it. Yeah, so I'm going to start, because I have listened to them on YouTube. So so people out there listening, check out Angry Kid.
Well, there's a couple, Scott, the blue light turner, creating shavings since 2016 and in hospital with pneumonia, says Angry Kid is epic.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
JP Woodwork loves Angry Kid. Dad, what was all that noise coming from your room last night?
Yeah, there's episodes where a lot of the episodes is in the back of the car, just spouting off this Angry Kid, Dad, and I don't know if it was set in what time. I think it's the 70s, because Charlie said he was on like a chopper with an anorak. I don't know anyway, but there's one episode he's in the back and he's sort of like pretending he's got Tourette's, and it's funny, but yeah, love it.
Mum says you're a very naughty boy.
Yeah.
So is there any skill that you've not tried yet, or any, I don't know what you call it in making or creating, but sort of any avenue, any discipline that you've not tried that you'd really like to have a go at?
It's what I've seen a lot of kind of recently, is like the resin stuff, like actually casting in resin. I've seen so much like on YouTube, and actually casting your own like blanks and stuff. I'd love to do, maybe not so much the blanks, but like the resin pouring art and like the canvases. So just kind of mixing that with a bit of what I already do then, and kind of mixed media pieces. But I've heard it's kind of not an expensive, if you get like the right resin, it's not an expensive hobby to get in, but it's a very messy hobby to get into. And I don't think my mum and dad would be very happy if I make any more mess in this house.
Well, you do it in your makerspace. So you still got your sort of like your workshop in the garden, in the shed.
Yeah. At the moment, you can't really get in my workshop because there's organised chaos in my workshop at the moment. There's lots of boxes everywhere, but it's do a sort out, because it needs some TLC, I think. And just throwing stuff out, because I'm really bad at hoarding stuff, and because I can justify anything. People just give me stuff and lids and ring pulls, and they're like, "Oh, well, you need this," and I can justify anything. Like with the junk builds, I was like, but the kids could use that for a hat for their robot, or like a jetpack, or I will justify anything. So I'm gonna be a bit ruthless, I think, and just throw some stuff out.
So where are you now?
In my house, in my mum and dad's house,
Right.
in the back bedroom.
Oh, right. Okay. I wasn't sure where you were. So let's see what everybody's saying. AH Bespoke says carving is where it's at.
Yeah, that's something. I'd like to try carving.
Bug. Oh, hang on. It keeps skipping up. No, I think someone added a comment on the bottom. What matters really is the heart you put in your work. It's difficult to push past the negativity, you're right. But if your heart's in your craft, then I feel it makes up for the negativity.
Yeah,
that's true.
True.
So, yeah. Yes, there's a bit of talk about Cardiff and beeswax and lemon oil and mineral oil. So we'll have a look at that in a minute.
Yeah.
So where can people find you?
Make It Soph on YouTube and Make It _Soph on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Cool. So if you don't already follow Sophie, and I bet most of the people who are in the chat already follow you, do follow her. And
did you hear your voice then? You went, do you follow her? Nervous. I know her very well, you know. You went, follow her. Picked up on that. Sorry, carry on.
Thanks, Chris.
I'm not nervous at all.
I'm not nervous. It was just, I don't know, it's just a wobble.
It was a wobble.
I can't remember what I was saying now.
Follow her.
Yeah. Follow Sophie if you're not already following her.
Everywhere. Follow her everywhere. And yes, she's continuing to ascend and inspire and motivate artists, young and old, all over the place, with a weird and wacky, eclectic approach to.
I've just got to ask a question.
Cobbling stuff together.
Who does Sophie think can reverse the car better, her or Chris?
Oh, Chris, hands down.
Well,
there's obviously a reason for that
have
question.
You bumped your car, Sophie?
No, it was the first Maker Central, and Bobby Duke and Nicole, his wife, were at like Holiday Inn in Wales, and they came to Cardiff, and they asked, "Oh, do you mind like if we hitch a ride with you to the NEC?" I thought, "Oh, that's fine, you know, yeah, we'll drive." And I'm not a bad driver, but Bobby said, "Oh, can we pull over? Can I use the services and grab some food and use the toilet and stuff?" I said, "Yeah, that's fine." And I kind of, you know, you got the lines like this when you park. I kind of parked like this, like completely diagonal. And Bobby got out the car and he was like, he didn't really say anything. I was like, "Sorry, I can't park, but I'm not going to move here either." But it was way away from the services. I wasn't in anyone's way. I took, you know, full measures that I wasn't going to, you know, bump into anyone or anything like that. But yeah, I can't really park. I can park, maybe not reverse park.
Well, our car has parking sensors, so I have been known to turn the car around on the drive and back it up to the workshop when I need to load the car. Yeah. But I wouldn't attempt it if I didn't have the parking sensors. So basically, if it's pointing the wrong way, I'll go on full lock forward until I get the back, beep, then opposite lock, back, beep, and I keep doing that until in my mind. And then what I have to do is put the handbrake on, put it in park, then go out and have the feel. I am actually in front of our house and not the neighbours or on their lawn.
I've come upstairs. It's usually in the morning when this happens. So I'll have gone for a shower, and when I've gone for the shower, the car's maybe parking up towards the house, and I might just look out the window after I've had my shower, and the car's parking pointing the other way.
Yeah, but I wouldn't attempt it if we didn't have parking sensors.
So that's probably what I need then. Some
parking sensors. Get some parking sensors. Yeah, retrofit them to your car.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah,
and then Jamie can't say anything because I'll park brilliantly every time.
Yeah, that's right. You show them.
Well, Well, it's been lovely having you on the podcast, Sophie, and it was great to see you on Saturday and catch up with you and spend a bit of time with you. And I just know that you've got such a bright future, and you're going to be doing even more amazing things than you've already been doing.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for having me on. You know, you both serve as like a massive inspiration for me, the both of you, like your hard work and just the way Chris approaches like work, and you know how he turns is just brilliant to watch. And yeah, no, I'll any demo you have in Cardiff, I'll be there.
Well, thank you very much. Well, yeah, lovely, kind words, and you know that all of that love that you just sent our way, we send it straight back to you and your family and your community. And yeah, we've got your back, sister. Don't you worry about that.
Thank you, and likewise, and Bamba.
Yeah, of course, Bamba. Yeah.
Part myself over there now.
Yeah.
Right then. Well, here endeth the Make a Monday segment. So we'll carry on with our little chat about what we've been doing this week. You're most welcome to stay.
Yeah, stick around.
Okay. And yeah, chip in if you like.
Yeah, as often as you want to, as often as you need to.
Yeah, whatever.
And people, have you got the chat up there on your screen, Sophie?
Yeah, I can get it up.
Yeah. So yeah, people, by
There's
all
lots
means,
of nice comments there as well.
Yeah, by all means, people, you can still keep putting up questions and comments for Sophie to read there.
Yeah.
So that's cool. She's hanging out with us for the rest of the show, so that's cool.
Yeah. So there was Clive Farrant said, "Hi Chris, Nicola, Soph and everyone. I really enjoyed the demo in Cardiff on Saturday. The tip
Clive,
about using beeswax, lemon oil and mineral oil as part of the sanding process was brilliant."
Yeah, like I say, not originally my idea. Something that I was told to do by Tracy Owen and Mick Hambry, but it works so well in so many different applications. Whether or not you've got some vicious punky tear out on your work, or you want to keep dust down in your workshop because you haven't got dust extraction, so that's great. You can use it when you're still on the tools. You can use it with abrasives by hand. You can use it power sanding, and you could even use it as your final finish, which is great. Remember, if you are going to be using a different finish like friction polish or lacquers or whatever, make sure you remove it all that wax, so your final finish will bond correctly to your work. But I was.
Clive says he's a beekeeper as well, so
yes, I remember talking to him. Yes, he's got a ready supply of ye olde beeswax.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So first off, Scott, I have to read his name because where are you? The blue light turner creating shavings since 2016 is poorly sick and in hospital with pneumonia. Scott. Get well soon, Scott.
Yes.
Hopefully you won't be in too long. You don't want to be on a busman's holiday.
No, because he's a paramedic.
Yeah.
So, well, at least you've got this real good understanding of what's going on and the medical procedures around you, Scott. So, get well soon, mate, and let us know how you're progressing.
Yeah. We're going to do a gate crasher at the end of the podcast. So if anybody wants to gate crash for 5 minutes at the end, stick your hand up. And I'd just like to say about an idea that I had for December, maybe the Christmas podcast.
Be afraid, everybody.
Yeah. I came up with this really great idea whilst I was sat in the audience at Cardiff, called Turning the Tables. And instead of us asking the questions, I thought people in the chat could ask a question and we'll add you into the podcast and you can ask us questions.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah, so that's our Christmas special.
That's our Christmas special called Turning the Tables.
There you go. So yeah, Ask away, folks. There you go.
So it'll probably be, I'm not sure what date, but I'll sort that out. So if you've got any questions, jot them down.
Oh, we're going to flip it.
Yeah, yeah. So what else would you like to talk about?
Well, what we've been up to.
Yeah. Well, I went to Heysham.
You went to Heysham. Let's do it chronologically. In that way, it helps me.
Okay.
So last Sunday, you went to Heysham.
I think it was Sunday. It was Tuesday.
Was it Tuesday?
I think so, yeah.
See, lost the plot. It's been a busy week.
Yeah. Well, I went to Heysham, and I think it was an old church called St. Peter's that's right on the coast. So I was doing some photography there. It was a very wet day.
Heysham is the ferry port near Morecambe, northwest coast.
And it has Viking connections.
Uh-huh.
So it was quite an interesting place. It was very quiet because it was a bad day weather-wise.
I didn't go. I was in the workshop.
I was the only one parked in the car park. Yeah, it was kind of a bit bleak, you know. It's one of those places that I don't think I'd want to live, but it was interesting for photographs. And the churchyard was right onto the, well, there was a wall, but it was backing right onto the beach and the sea.
Wow.
So yeah, but there's some quite interesting sort of weather and pictures you could get from there. Yeah, it was a nice little trip. So after that, we went to Shrewsbury.
Shropshire.
Yeah.
Shropshire Association, was it?
Shropshire Association of Woodturners.
Yeah, so that was funny because we sort of like trying to factor in bad traffic and things like that. So we ended up being there a little over just over 2.5 hours there early. So we sat in the car park. It was at a village called Bicton, if memory serves.
Yeah.
Bicton Village Hall and Club. So we were sat in the car park for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Weren't we?
Yeah.
But you know, we were listening to stuff on YouTube, and Nicola had prepared some
lovely sandwiches.
Nicola had prepared some lovely smoked salmon and cream cheese sandwiches. We're not going to name and shame the supermarket where the bread crate came from, but it was only a day old. And I opened my packet, and straight away this dusty aroma smacked me around the face, and I said, "This bread is off." And then you had a look and went, "Oh yeah, it's all mouldy." So So we just peeled the smoked salmon off the sandwich and ate that, and that's all we had for our tea.
Yeah.
Some slivers of smoked salmon sat in the car park in Shropshire. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh, how the other half.
It's the highlight.
It's very
canapé, isn't it?
Yeah, snaffling down smoked salmon. So yeah, we had tea in the car. But it
didn't take us long, did it?
No, it was about 25 seconds we had our dinner that night. And then we, when the members and secretaries and chairman and things like that of the club turned up, it was great, and
they were really nice.
And then I mentioned before that Graham, the chairman, was in two minds whether or not to book me.
Yeah.
Because he thought, Blind Woodturner, how do I approach this? How do I speak to him? You know, what's the etiquette? So he was very honest, saying, you know, I nearly didn't book you for this demo. But he said he'd done his research and seen me on YouTube and the media stuff that the BBC had done and all that sort of stuff. And he'd watched the video that Axminster did. So after he'd done his research, he didn't panic so much, and he booked us for the demo. And it was a great demo. And they're going to have us back next year, I think. So that was great. So thank you very much, Shropshire Association of Woodturners. And we came back. In fact,
we did. It was a late night, that wasn't it?
It was a late night. It was about 12:30 when we got home.
Yeah, it was about 2 o'clock by the time we went to bed.
Because we hadn't had any dinner, we stopped off and got something to eat. So we had our...
Oh, yeah, I was in the supermarket at midnight, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Shopping.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, when we went to the same supermarket that sold us the mouldy bread.
I didn't buy any bread
No,
though.
but we didn't buy any bread. So we got some snacks. So we were up having our dinner at 1 a.m. So that was nice. So yeah, Thursday then, I did something completely abnormal for me, and it was like, you know what? Screw this! I'm going to leave the car full. I was really tempted to unload the car, bearing in mind that we were going to Cardiff the day after. I was really tempted to unload the car and sort through everything to make sure I had everything, and then reload the car. And you know what? I said to myself, I'm not going to. I said, so we'll just leave it all in the car and just go to Cardiff with it as is. And we did, and it was fine. Yeah. So, but it felt strange not unpacking the car. But we thought, well,
I wasn't too bothered because we were going to Axminster, and I figured that if you'd missed anything or you hadn't got anything,
they'd have it.
So yeah.
So yeah, that went well. The drive down to Cardiff, we sort of like was on the motorway from here to Chester. Then we picked up the A road, North Wales, and we just went down the A road right down the centre of Wales, really, well, a bit to the right of Wales, and went straight down. And the traffic was brilliant. The weather was poop.
Yeah.
The rain was just non-stop, as it was for most of the weekend.
It really hammered down, didn't it, whilst we were in Cardiff?
Yeah, Friday afternoon. Yeah, is it always like that down there, Sophie?
Yeah, it's rain and sheep. That's all we got.
Rain and sheep. Yeah, world-class artists.
Something that you've got though. We went into Aldi because we decided we were going to have a deli tea on the Friday night, didn't we? So I went into Aldi and stocked up on a few things, and it was just funny because instead of saying we're now opening till number 4, it was in Welsh.
Yeah.
And that was.
Did you feel like you was on holiday then?
I felt like I was in a foreign land.
Well, you are, technically. You're in a different country.
Yeah, we like to just put everything twice on everything. Directions, and you have like a normal spelling, then just a load of consonants underneath. Which apparently is Welsh.
Whenever I enter Wales, all you hear out of me for about 3 hours is Headloo, Araf.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, that I remember from sort of like seeing daubed on the roads and on signs.
Yeah.
And, what's ambulance or something.
Yeah,
something like that. So
that's quite similar. Well, and church as well is like église in French.
Église.
Yeah,
église is église.
Yeah.
Similar. It is similar because there's a few French kind of similar to French, but like some words are just ridiculous. Like they just don't even make sense. Like car in Welsh is car. So why do we even bother? I do love the Welsh language, mind. I do. I don't know a lot of it, but I learned a little bit when I was in school. But it's very strange, some words.
Yeah, I think it's a cool language. It sounds great when you hear it being spoken. I think it's very cool because it's just got that the old and Celtic and medieval connotations. Whenever I hear Welsh or Scandinavian, all I think of is great battles. That's
what's microwave in Welsh?
Popty ping.
Popty ping? Oh, that's great.
We haven't got a popty ping.
No, we don't have a popty ping.
No, popty ping.
That's brilliant.
Everyone loves microwave in Welsh.
Nathan said microwave in Welsh.
How can you not love
popty ping?
A country that has got popty ping as a microwave. That is it. That's. I'm moving to Wales.
So you can go into where'd you go? Curry's or PC World or whatever they call it. We could go and say, "Can I have a popty ping, please?"
Yeah. And then when they do it, we could say "Dioch."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm there. I'm bilingual. So
microwave and thank you. You sorted.
Yeah. There you go. That's all you need. Yeah. I can eat and not get kicked out of places.
Yeah.
Somebody said, how do you hold your breath long enough to do that? I don't know what that was in reference to now. Anyway, JP was asking how you hold your breath that long.
Is that for Clownfair PG?
I don't know. Anyway.
That place in Anglesey. You know, that one with about...
Clanfair, Pulgrim, Gil, Goguri, Cher, Drobel, Clanticilio, go, go, go.
Oh,
see? Nailed it.
Oh my God, you've never done that before. Charlie can say it as well. Oh, sod off. Wouldn't know it all. Oh, I went to university. Well, I didn't. Screw you. Be off.
Nicola can say that. And Chris, you could say Popty Ping.
I can say Popty. Yeah, that sums us up. Nicola's there coming out with this word with very good Welsh. It's got 26 letters. And blind away goes Popty Ping. That sums us up, doesn't it? Nicola's been to the Sorbonne. My favourite phrase is here to go, 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 Popty Ping. I'm never leaving this house ever again. I'm going to get you a badge with that one, I think. Right, that's it. Can someone make me a T-shirt? I'm going to get a badge for me. It's going to be that big, though. Someone get me a T-shirt made up, and it's got a pic. Sophie, you could do this.
I could do this.
Get some fabric paints. Draw me a microwave on it, and underneath, right, Popty Ping.
Yeah.
Make Essential goals this year. Yeah, bring it. And I'll wear it all weekend. Popty Ping. That's epic. So, anyway, we're still at Shrewsbury, are we? We've been back to Wales about 8 times. No, we've been to Wales. The road down was Popty Ping, right? It was torrential Popty Pinging. So when we got there Friday afternoon, Lee was really, really nice. Lee was great all weekend. Yeah. On Saturday, I mean, he's on his game, Lee. Lee's on his game, and we set up on Friday afternoon, which is great. Yeah. I'm allowed to get my head in the game a bit. I can set up because, a lot of sighted makers and woodturners, they can get to their demo like 15 minutes before they're due to start, and that's it. They're off to go. I can't work like that. My brain doesn't work like that. My psyche won't allow me to work like that. I have to get there, set up, prepare, go through the routine, start processing things. He looked after us Friday afternoon whilst I was doing that. And Saturday morning we can turn up. We've got like 3/4 of an hour to just fine tune and tweak things, and then we're good to go. So we had, obviously, Sophie came. Yes. T+G Making came. Yeah. He Makes, She Makes, they came. Tink Nearing came. Clive came. Clive. Yeah. Who else? Diane. Diane was there. And it was a great turnout. It was, yeah. Yeah, it was a full house in the morning. It was a full house all morning, and then after lunch, it sort of like subsided a bit. Select people. Yeah, but then it started to build again, didn't it? And there was it sort of came. It came back, and then sort of like mid-afternoon. There was a healthy. Yeah, because there were quite a few people came in the afternoon and sort of stopped and had a look, and that family with 4 kids were there. Gareth went off spending money. I know that. Yeah. Because he was saying, he's over there looking at everything. And Keris came. Keris, who was 16. Yeah. So the first project I did, a copper beech bowl that was power carved and textured and coloured. Keris picked the colours, and she picked chestnuts, metallic, silver first, and then dry brush pink over. So it was just a very subtle shimmer. So she got that, with it being her birthday. It's only right, and she's learning how to do some turning now, isn't she? With T&G. Yeah. Yeah. Ironic, I'm having a G&T. So that was great. Yeah, lovely girl, Keris. Happy birthday. And then the second project was an off-centre goblet. Yeah. Which we left in store. So that's on a shelf in the live workshop. Yeah. That went very well, that demo. for the off centre, that was a lovely piece of spalted beech that you selected. Well, you selected those, both the copper beech and the spalted beech. And then I had time to do a third project, which was a magic wand, seeing as it's getting near, you know, Halloween and Christmas, and you know, magic wands are great gifts for young and old alike, and the Harry Potter fans. So that was good. So we gave that away to a chap that was there with his kids.
Yeah.
Who the little girl, she's going as a witch for Halloween.
Yeah.
So she's gonna have it. But we told her,
Yeah.
you know, she's got to use it for good magic.
Mm.
She can't put a pimple on her dad's bum.
Yeah. Bamba gave her a big lick as well, because she sat on the floor at one point, and Bamba was sort of lurched off in her direction and licked her face. She wasn't really impressed.
She's only about 2 foot tall.
I know.
Yeah. You know, 6 foot of German Shepherd coming up and bounding to you. So yeah, it was a great day. It really was.
Yeah, it was a really good day. Well, it was nice to see so many familiar faces and catch up, and it's always nice when people come, and you know, people we know. It does make it a different kind of day, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the drive home was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We left at about 10 past 5, something like that.
Yeah, we were out to there quite quickly.
Yeah, and we were home for 8:30.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, so but we just came back up. It was the M4 then, M5, M6, straight back up north. Just stopped once for fuel.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
The world's don't ever stop at Gloucester services.
World's most expensive fuel.
I need to tweet about that. It was 148p a litre.
Wow.
And well, by the time we'd stopped, I thought, well, I may as well just put it in. But it's probably about 25p more per litre than I've ever paid. So I said to the guys,
told him, didn't you?
I said, your fuel's really expensive. But it was kind of, they got a lot of artisan food in the shop as well, and
local produce, and farmers,
which would be great, but not really.
You're paying for it at the pump.
Yeah.
And he said to you, didn't he? Oh, we've been told that a lot lately, that our fuel's too expensive.
Yeah, and he said they dropped it a few pence recently.
There you go. It'd been up to 1.5, hasn't it?
I mean, you know, we've paid like, I don't know, 130 something and 136, but yeah.
What do you think, Sophie? Us struggling artists having to pay so much for our fuel when we travel around the country demonstrating. It's not only
148. That's steep, you know. You don't want to go to those services then, so they'll be losing business because people just purposely avoid going.
Yeah.
I need to have a look. I think there used to be an app or something, or a website that said how much petrol was at different places. I need to check it because, I'm a bit stingy when it comes to things like that. I don't like being ripped off.
No.
That's fair enough.
And they used to, I mean, I don't know if you ever remember this, but they used to put the price of petrol on the sign. So when you went past it said, you know, Gloucester services, fuel, £1, whatever it was. So you kind of knew how much you were getting into before you drove through.
Yeah, but obviously I've said to you, if you're down to your last little bit in the tank, you know, you've got no choice. You have to go there. You know, it's either that or break down, you know, and need assistance. So in that respect, you know, they've got you over a barrel. But if you can make it to somewhere else, avoid.
Yeah, don't go to Gloucester. It's blacklist. It's on the list now.
It's on the list. Yeah, we've started a list.
We have started a list.
Yeah, Gloucester services, you're on it.
So what else have we done? Anything?
Yeah, I've been doing more magic wands today.
Yeah.
That's ongoing for Horton Tower for their gift shop.
Yeah.
Annie and James that own Biggin Hall, the country house hotel we like in Derbyshire.
Yeah.
She's commissioned 26 key rings for me to turn because they have quite a few people at Christmas staying over and Christmas dinner there. So she likes to give them a little gift from under the tree. So she got in touch and said, Chris, can you make us some key rings? So I'm doing the gifts for the ladies that are staying at Biggin Hall.
Yeah.
And then James, who's Annie's husband, he's an artist, and one of his relatives does some turning, so he's going to make something for the guys. So that's cool. So I've started cutting the blanks, basically the pen blanks that you're cutting down. I started cutting them down this afternoon as well. So I've been in the workshop most of the day.
Yeah.
We've done some admin, some emails.
Yeah.
Got a few emails fired off and stuff like that. Oh yeah, and also can we just give a huge shout out to Dan from Taylor's Murfield, recently father again.
Yeah, he's had his wife's had another baby.
Yeah.
A little girl.
Yeah. So congratulations, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. There you go. More sleepless nights. What are you doing tonight? Wiping ass. That's what I remember hugely. Charlie was a little bugger. He'd be asleep all the time. As soon as you sat down with your tea, he'd fire up. Bloody smell. You could the smell of the food would wake him up. Funny.
So
anyway,
T+G Making said we should have gone to Sainsbury's in Newport.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks for telling us now. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. We'll remember that if we get booked for Cardiff next year.
Yeah, we won't be going there again.
Yeah.
So this week, we're going to Shrewsbury.
Stafford.
We've
done
Shrewsbury. I know. I keep wanting to say Shrewsbury again. It's because Shrewsbury in Shropshire, and it's like Stafford. Yeah, so we're going
nothing
to
like it, is it? Shrewsbury, Stafford.
Yeah, so we're going to Stafford.
Friday.
Yeah.
Demonstration.
Yeah.
Friday evening. Yeah. So we'll drive down, do the demo, straight back. That's not a huge haul, is it? Really?
No.
Stafford. So that should be fun. What else have we got planned?
I think that's about it. You've got more turning.
Oh, someone's coming tomorrow to.
Oh yeah, you've got some photography tomorrow.
Yeah. A photographer is coming round to
do some photographs
and some video.
Do some video, and then on Wednesday you've got Matthew back from Hong Kong.
Yes, Matthew, my intern.
Yeah. So
he'll be starting his final year at uni doing media. I forget the correct name of the course he's on. Media, film, all that gubbins. So Matthew back. We'll just need to get in touch with him.
Yeah.
Just to confirm he's landed safely.
So we're kind of we've more or less finished
our segment.
Yeah.
So we're going to throw it out now.
So any gate crashers out there who'd like to gate crash
who wants
today?
To come and join us for the last 5 or so minutes?
It's very painless.
Yeah, Nicola will send you the very quick link.
Sophie can attest to that.
It was fine. Absolutely fine.
We're not going to ask them the 5 questions. They can just come on.
It's just if you've got anything you've been doing this week that you'd like to share, or
if you want to just come and tell us
about a project.
Anything.
JP's coming. Yay.
Of course he is.
Let me just copy this link. Right, JP, there's your link. So if you click on that link, it will add you to our studio, and then I can
Are you ready for this, Soph?
No.
Did you speak to JP yesterday? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the podcast. Yeah.
Right.
I've had enough of him now.
Yay.
Hello. Or should I say bookkeeping?
Gate Crasher Jamie, how are you, sir?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Took a whack to the face today.
Well, all right. Have you managed that?
You can probably see. Well, you couldn't, Chris, but everyone else can.
Matching microphone.
Yeah, he's telling us.
We have.
Sorry.
We have.
What happened?
Yeah. The crusher tenon on the chuck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's basically. I had a big chunk of wood on the lathe, and it weren't going too hard. It basically hit the chest and rolled up mainly, but yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was only going about 500. So
where did it
that
hit
was
you?
lucky. It kind of hit me there and then rolled up my face shield.
Oh, right.
So yeah, it wasn't too bad.
So it's
So-
kind of winded you a bit.
No, not really.
No?
It could have been a hell of a lot worse. So
Yeah.
it's you should always definitely wear your face shield.
There you go.
Yeah.
If a labour was going a bit faster, it could have hit straight in my face.
Mm.
So yeah, but apart from that, I'm all right.
Well, there you go. Well, yeah, wow, flipping heck. There you go, folks. You heard it from the man himself. He's escaped serious injury because he had his.
Yeah. So when do you want them turning lessons, Soph?
I mean, yeah, you don't want to, publish like stories like that. I'll wait till you've got a positive story, and then you can
All
come
right. Okay. All right. Okay.
So what have you been up to then, JP?
What have I been up to? I've been kind of decorating my workshop, to be honest, kind of organising, and next door are moving, I think, and they're kind of offloading a load of drawers. I've built a tool wall, and yeah, just kind of sorting out my workshop and just kind of general organisation, and yeah, just kind of making it a bit tidier.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, getting there. So
Good.
got a couple more things to do. Dale from Maple Tree Studios wants to paint my walls white, so I'll keep telling them they don't need it, but yeah. So, but yeah, there's a couple more things that need doing, and I'm probably going to do a shop tour because I've never done one of them yet. So people keep asking me to do it. So
yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what are you making at the minute?
what am I making at the moment? So the project I'm making at the moment is it's a project that's been kind of ongoing since 2017, and this since my trip to the States. I don't think I've actually got any pictures on me at the moment. So what I've actually done is while I was in the States and traveling down the Keys, I went into a museum, and there was a massive statue of dolphins flying through water, and it was made out of just glass. And I got it in my head that I could kind of recreate it out of bowl and resin and all that sort of stuff. And I've had that in my head ever since. So I'm in the middle of doing that at the moment. So I've compound cut a dolphin out of maple bowl, and I've shaped it and all that sort of stuff. And now I'm gonna start doing some. I've got the resin. I was just gonna do a pour of it tomorrow.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm gonna have the dolphin kind of levitating out of it, or
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna have it say it's jumping in or just about jumping out, or what. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Haven't decided. So, but it's all come from that in 2017. So
Yeah.
So have you put any pictures up, or have you made any video?
I've no, not I've only got what I've recorded at the moment. I do have a picture somewhere of the original piece on my external hard drive, so I haven't actually got it with us. It's downstairs, unfortunately. But I will have a picture of the original bit that I saw. Unfortunately, the picture's a bit blurry because while we was going around the art gallery, we got told we couldn't take pictures. So we was walking out the art gallery at the time when I saw this piece.
Yeah.
So it was a quick case of put it on video mode and walk past that piece.
Yeah.
So I was lucky to get it in frame, so it was kind of slowed down in the video editor, and then snap a picture of it in the video editor.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit blurry, but so yeah, that's basically what I've been doing.
Cool.
Is organising and doing a bit of resin and bowl stuff.
And how was the podcast yesterday?
The podcast was very, very well. Yeah, we had some young lady on there.
Yeah.
She's gonna go. I think she's gonna go far.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, she's starting to get noticed now.
Yeah. Starting to make a name for herself. It's only been a couple of years.
It has.
Yeah. Once she takes her foot out of her rear end, she might do something.
Yeah, something. Who knows? Well, something. I'll do
Who
something.
knows?
We'll have to listen to it. We've not listened to it yet, but we'll listen to it and see what you talked about.
Yeah, I was really nervous, like, at the beginning. I think I stumbled on, like, loads of words and there was, like, feedback in the mic, so all I heard was, like, what I was saying, but just repeated, and then I was
Yeah.
just stumbling,
Yeah, we realised it was Chris.
and then I was just like, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But
Yeah, we realised it was Chris because Chris is in LA at the moment, I think.
All right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
StreamYard.
you used StreamYard yesterday, didn't you?
Tell me.
Yeah, we use
nice.
StreamYard. Yeah.
Are you still there?
Yeah, we use this for the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
quite
we
good.
use this for the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, it's working well.
Yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
It is.
so
Yep.
I think is that about it then for this week?
Yeah, unless Jamie's got anything else, he just
Anything
wants to.
else you'd like to add?
I will add that everything that we spoke about yesterday with the mini makers will be officially out on Wednesday. It'll be out on Wednesday about 9 o'clock or 9:30 UK time, so you can catch up everything there. I will add something a little bit extra. So, Kat from Hippie Noodle, what we're actually doing is she's taking everybody's t-shirts. So if you've got yourself a t-shirt and you've got your logo on it, what you do is you send Kat your t-shirt.
Yeah.
So all of the details for that is on the Makers International Podcast website, which is makersinternationalpodcast.com. What she's doing is it's hashtag make a quilt. So what she's doing, she's taking all of the t-shirts and she's going to sew them all together. And like I say, the address is on the website. And after the t-shirts are all sewn together and made into a quilt, it's all going to be auctioned off the quilt, and all the money is going to go to Guide Dogs UK to hopefully sponsor a dog. So and since Kat is putting all the work in, we let Kat decide where the money is going to go.
Right.
So and Kat's chosen choice was Guide Dogs UK.
That's really nice.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Are you listening, Bam Bam?
Yeah, we need to do that. It was on my list, and then I've not done it yet, so I need to get on to that.
We've had a couple of people send in some shirts, I believe. But there's a few details over there that people in the States may need to understand. For example, you need to send a t-shirt under the price of $10, and send it as a gift, because there's actually there's a store, I forget the name, what it's called. It's Mars something. I forget what it's called. I haven't got it up in front of us. But they've actually donated a lot of stuff for Kat to help her make the quilt. And they've also basically been like a store for where you can send it all, so Kat hasn't got a load of t-shirts turning up at her house. Now, kind of like what Caitlin did with the ring and what Chestnut did. Chestnut said, right, you can just send us all the rings. Well, that's what this haberdashery shop has done for Kat.
Brilliant.
So they've also donated like all the cottons and all that sort of stuff for
That's really cool.
Kat. So
so
we obviously we don't want them getting any customs charges or anything like that.
Yeah. No, that's great. And I mean, obviously, going to Guide Dogs, that's the very close to my heart. Amber.
Yeah, well, you sort of like hearing it straight from the horse's mouth there. Yeah, getting a guide dog is such a huge life-changing thing. And if it wasn't for Bamber, I'd be housebound, especially Nicola, being out and, working and meetings and things. But you get a guide dog and the blind are able to go out without getting flattened by the number 67 bus. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'll keep everything updated on the podcast Facebook page and on the website. So all information's over there if you want to go and find out about it.
That's great.
All right.
Appreciate the reminder on that as well. It's we'll get that sorted.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, it's been great chatting with you, Jamie, as a surprise. So that's lovely to see you. Thank you for gate crashing. And Sophie, it's just been lovely having you on as our Maker Monday guest as well.
Indeed.
And yeah, it's an absolute pleasure having a chat with you about your making, and we really do wish you all the very best with everything that you do.
Thank you. Hopefully it's not so long before I come and see you guys again, and
thank
you to everyone who tuned in to the chat as well today.
Yeah, no, thank you to Sophie, Make It Soph, a very, very inspiring, lovely young maker that's taking it out to the kids. Really important work. And then you've got JP, who's an incredible artist and scroll saw artist and really nice guy. And well done, Jamie, for letting everybody hear the importance of wearing your face shield.
Yeah,
they're not just there for what they're not just there for.
Show.
For Christmas.
Show. Face shield. It's for life, not just for Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. For safety, not just for Christmas.
Yeah, awesome. So right then.
Yeah, and thank you to everybody who's been watching. Thank you to everybody in the chat. It's great having you there, and we really appreciate you being part of the podcast.
Indeed.
And thank you very much for all your comments and taking part. So hope everybody has a great week, and we will be back next week. Can't remember who the guest is next week, so I will be posting about it. I meant to check as we were talking.
Okay. Yeah, we'll let you know. We'll let you know who it's going to be. So yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you Sophie. Thank you Jamie. Thank you Nicola. Thank you Bamba. Don't forget to.
You, Chris.
You're welcome. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our lovely guests here, and to people in the chat, their channels. Spread the love. Give everyone as much support.
And go and watch Steve Twidell live. I think he'll be going live at 9:30. So go and watch Steve live as well, and he's giving an update about the creative van. Thanks, Leona.
Yeah, thank you all so very much. Good night, sayonara. I'm going for a gin and tonic, and big love to you all.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good night, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Right, just ending the broadcast.